Howdy folks, John here from rchelicopterfun.com. As you can see from what's on the workbench, today is RC Radio Review Day, specifically the RadioMaster TX16S Max version. This isn't the Max, we'll get into that in a bit. The TX16S has pretty much become my daily driver, and I really can't say enough good about this transmitter. I had no idea I would come to like it as much as I do when I first did the review on it last year, and I know so many others who have had similar experiences. In my opinion, it represents the best value computerized OpenTX radio currently on the market. Now, I've been getting lots of questions about the TX16S over the past year, and one of the most common is what are the differences between the various models RadioMaster now offers. The TX16S currently comes in 4 versions. The base version, which has limited multi-protocol, no touchscreen, and traditional potentiometer gimbals, is going for around 100 greenbacks, $100 US. The normal Hall version, which we have here, as the name suggests, has upgraded Hall effect censored gimbals and is by far the most popular. It also has the updated touchscreen display, which as of yet remains unsupported by OpenTX, and of course full multi-protocol functionality. It's currently selling for around 160 USD, and this in my opinion is the best value of the bunch. The TX16S color versions are basically the same as the Hall version, with 3 different color cases over the basic black, including silver, imitation carbon, and a satin-looking nickel, which RadioMaster calls gold. And you'll pay about 20 bucks more to have those 3 color choices over the standard black Hall version. Now last up is the Max versions. Some also call it the Pro version, which is what we're going to be looking at today, because this version is the one I'm getting the most questions on by folks wondering if it's worth the extra 80 greenbacks over the normal Hall version, or extra 60 over the color version. Hopefully by the end of the video, we'll have a better idea of what that extra coin gives you, and if it's worth it to you. Oh, you may be wondering why I have an old analog Futaba FG7 FM Gold series on the bench. Well, this was my very first quality RC radio when I got into the hobby back in the 80s, and it represents lots of lawn cutting and saving up for young Johnny of the day. I have so many great flying memories with it, and with that in mind, you'll hopefully appreciate the RadioMaster TX16S Max version I decided on. I want to thank Banggood for sending me this nostalgic connection to my youth, and as usual, we'll have links to the TX16S Max version, along with all the other versions down in the description, so you can check them out yourself. Let's get into it. Because the Max version is essentially a blinged out Hall version, I'm not going to spend a lot of time going over all the functionality and features of the TX16S. I will link to the original review I did on it below in the description if you're new to the TX16S and if you want to understand its features, functions, that type of thing. Like I said, this video is primarily to show you the difference between the Max version and the Hall version, so you can decide if paying that extra premium price is of any value to you. So in the box, we get the radio itself, of course. Nice little decal set and a little quick start guide. Now these ship in these nice strong foam cases. All the RadioMasters do. It is great for transporting and also for just storing your radio. So really nice cases. They're just hinged at the back, and that radio is held very secure into them, and just gorgeous. As you can see, that's why I pretty much fell in love with this the first time I saw it. It just brings back so many fond memories of my old Futaba FG, and knowing the TX16S's functionality, its features, how well that original one's been working for me. Yeah, this was a no-brainer. So over and above the radio, which we will get to in just a little bit, we get a neck strap in here. That didn't come with my original Hall version. I think they all ship now though. Leave a comment below if that's not the case. Some little anodized aluminum, what is these, gimbal face plates? I can't see how that would work. I'm going to be opening this up at the end of the video for any who want to stick around. I've got to swap my switches around. I'll explain that in a bit, and we'll see where these might go inside if they do. And I want to see if there's any differences internally from the original Hall version. Okay, we get a little display protector, which is nice. You don't have to buy one of those. Comes with a little rubberized RadioMaster keychain. Kind of cool. And we've got some gimbal springs, and what else is in there? Oh, a couple little set screws. What would those be for? Oh, okay. The gimbal ends don't have the set screws in yet. So all those set screws are for is you thread them in the end of the gimbals to lock their position. These are height adjustable gimbals, so you can screw them out if you want a longer throw, screw them in for a shorter throw, and then you just lock the position with the set screw. These are pretty sharp, just like the original. What I do is I unscrew them and then just pass the ends over a fine file just to knock those sharp edges down. So that's totally personal preference. And we also get a USB-C cable, and this serves dual purpose. There's two USB-C ports, one in the top. That is for flashing new firmware and access your SD card if you want to. And at the bottom, you've got another USB-C port for internal charging the battery packs. We'll get to that in just a bit. And as you see, it also ships with an SD card, so you don't have to buy an SD card. There's a little micro SD right there. Now I've already copied all my models over in my sound pack, so when we start this thing up, you'll see, you'll hear a different voice on there. It's the Amber voice pack over what you'd get out of the box when you get yours. Just so you're aware of that. And while we're talking about the battery, let's get a battery in this thing. So massive battery bays in the TX16S, so you've got lots of battery options. I think they've got up to a 4,000 milliamp hour pack that you can get in here. It comes with this little holder for two 18650 cells. The plug on it is a JST-XH 2S plug. Just plugs in at the bottom. So you can either run it off of 18650s if you want, or just any 2S LiPo pack as long as it fits in there. I've just got this little, what is this, a 950 milliamp hour, but we'll power it with that. It gives a warning that you can only charge LiPos or 18650s. You can't use LiFe's in this thing because of the different voltage. And as we saw in the original version, that's one thing nice about the RadioMaster. It's got really good internal charge circuitry. It charged up the packs and balanced them perfectly. So we'll turn this on. I should probably take this protective shipping.
You turned me on. Normal mode, throttle release, low rates, rudder low, jet turbine, ignition off.
Geez, that's a mouthful. Yeah, I should probably take this protective shipping protector off the screen. Now I'll leave it on. So first thing you probably heard, probably the microphone didn't pick it up, but the sound is much better on this version now. They're all shipping with the improved sound. They basically put two speakers in now. There's one up here and one in the back. I did a separate video on the process of installing the second speaker on the original. They all ship with them now though, so unless you've got one of the first ones that didn't have that, that wouldn't be of any interest. This sounds even a little bit better. They may have opened up the
jet turbine, ignition on, jet turbine, ignition off.
Yeah, they may have opened up the speaker grill a little bit internally. It just sounds richer and of course louder. I've got my volume.
Gyro heading home. That was the right switch. No.
So yeah, I've got my volume on my S2. You can program that in here. And I've got my LCD display brightness on my S1. Just feeling the dials. They've got a much stronger detent than my original Hall version did. So that's a nice little improvement. One thing, RadioMaster does seem to listen to its customers. I was amazed after I did that original review and remarked about the low sound volume. I got a comment right away from RadioMaster saying they're shipping with the upgraded speakers soon. So, you know, they listen to people, which is cool. The side detents also feel a little bit better than the original. So let's get the original Hall version out so we can compare these two side by side. So you can see the differences and where that extra money is going. So of course the first difference is the colors. You've got color options here. This is the gold, of course, with it's kind of a satin nickel faceplate. And I rather like the a lighter radio over the dark ones. I find they run cooler, but that's just my own personal preference. You can also get the imitation carbon fiber with the red anodizing, looks really sharp, or a nice basic silver and black, which also looks really sharp. All the stuff that's gold on here is all metal, so there's no more plastic buttons. These are all anodized aluminum buttons. Same with your menu, your system menu select button, your model menu select button. Your scroll wheel is anodized aluminum, but it is also on the original Hall version, so nothing there. The faceplate is anodized aluminum. So is it on the Hall version, though. The dials are anodized aluminum, not plastic, and all the toggle nuts are anodized aluminum. And perhaps one of the nicest features is the folding aluminum handle on the back. I really like that. Now I should mention that you can get all these parts separate. You can get the upgrade kits to convert your Hall version into one of these. And not so much the faceplate, but certainly all the buttons and everything. They're pretty pricey though. And then considering your time to put them in, you know, a lot of people just probably would want to get the Max version instead. And then the last feature that the Maxes have is they've got these leather side grips on instead of just the kind of rubberized plastic, and they feel really nice. The gold comes with the brown, and the carbon fiber one and the silver one come with black. This brown will probably get dirty over time, but it'll pick up a nice worn-in patina look, just like a comfortable baseball glove. Now that we've looked at the exterior, let's get inside and see if it's any different. Like I said, I have to swap my switches around.
Throttle hold, throttle release.
I like my throttle hold to be my 2 position, not my momentary on the right. I've just become used to that over the years, so I have to switch these 2 toggles around. I'm just going to put a soft assembly towel under here so we don't scratch anything up while we take this apart. Now to get these apart, pretty simple. You just have to take the side grips off. They just peel off from the front and then pull out from the back. It's just these little nipples that hold it in. Same on the back, these little catches. There's the little leather. Looks like it's stitched through, but it's not. It's just stuck on to this flexible rubbery plastic piece. And once you get those off, you've got 4 screws to take out. 1 in each corner, and these 2 upper ones on the antenna housing. Now, first thing I've noticed, which is a nice improvement, the original one has Phillips screws to take the back off. This has actually got hex screws, and I would rather use a hex than a Phillips, but this is different. The JR port in my original Hall version has this little, they call it a project box, and you could hook, you know, an antenna up on there and different module if you wanted to make your own, whereas the Max version here has just got a cover. Now maybe all of them are just coming with this cover now. Maybe no one saw the value in having the little project box. Again, anyone who's getting a more recent Hall version or any of the other versions, if you want to leave a comment below what module bay cover came with yours. So the 4 screws on the back, like I said, hex, they're just 2mm hex screws. We'll fast forward through this. Okay, we'll just make sure those all come out. Don't lose them. I should actually pull the battery out now. We don't want that in there. I'll leave the back off as well. Now we've just got to get these 2 other hexes. These are 2.5mm to get the top antenna housing off. And then the back should just pull straight off. Just be careful because the speaker is wired on the back. So you can't just yank it off. There's two little plugs you have to unplug here. One's off the main board, and then one's going to the other speaker. And there's just the secondary speaker mounted in the back. It's a nice, strong, really strong plastic. There's our folded handle. It's held in with two hex screws, so if you ever wanted to change your handle on your other one, it's pretty easy. But super, super strong. And in like sin, identical essentially to the Hall version. The only visual difference is you can see the metal aluminum switch plate for your four little switches on the side here. You can see the metal switches, the menu and mode selection switches, and then your encoder wheel. You can see it underneath that circuit board. But other than that, pretty much identical. One thing I noticed is just how butter smooth the throttle or collective stick is. Because I fly helicopters, I don't want a ratcheted or indexed stick here. I want butter smooth collective. And this is so much nicer than my original Hall version. I'm gonna have to figure out why it feels so nice. And I don't know if you can see that focus. Looks like they've put some really thick, probably silicone grease in between the tension bands and the slide arcs. And that's what's giving it that butter smooth feel. Absolutely beautiful. As you can see, all the wiring is, it's got nice strain relief, potting compound or silicone on it. High flex, nice soft silicone wiring for many cycles. All the wiring is using individual plugs everywhere. More expensive way to do things, but it allows you to change out parts a lot easier. And that's one thing so nice with OpenTX radios, regardless of brand, most of them have nice part support. So you can buy a gimbal, buy a screen, buy a motherboard, buy an RF module. And that is the RF module with the 4 RF chips in it for your multi-protocol. You'll see a nice application of antenna hold down glue throughout all the connections and strain relief where it's required. So they've done a really nice job, and they haven't cheaped out on anything here. About the only little miss is the screws. They just thread into plastic. There's no brass or metal inserts in the thread in the standoff posts here. But yeah, that's certainly not that big of a deal. How often are you going to be opening it up? And I'm just going to switch my switches around. I've got a separate video if you too ever wanted to switch them around, if you're used to the momentary being on the other side. And when we get it back together, just give you a few final thoughts on the Max. Okay, I'm putting it back together. I think I got her figured. So you can use these. They would go over top like that. And I'll just put this in here so you can see what it would look like. I've already got this gimbal back in. I've got my switches swapped. This is just going to be kind of rough and dirty. But I realized the screws that came with those plates, they're longer. And this is the reason why. So I'll just hold this. Hopefully nothing will fall out. So that's the difference. There's that spacer. It's basically a spacer that pushes the entire gimbal down probably a good about 3-4 millimeters. So that's what those are for. It's basically a spacer to set the gimbal down a little further. And yeah, it kind of does look sharp. I'm going to leave it like this, but the option is there. Switches are swapped.
Throttle hold, throttle release. Shit is about to get real.
All working. And that is the RadioMaster TX16S Max version. Hopefully it showed you the differences between a Max and a regular Hall. Whether or not you think it's worth the $80 extra to have the bling, that is entirely up to you. I know I certainly love it. And yep, this is going to be the new daily driver. Just a beautiful looking radio, and brings back a little nostalgia for me. Thanks for watching, folks. We'll see you next time. Happy flights.